What movie could have been over in 10 minutes if the main character wasn't such a fool? Don't swim to the drop-off, Nemo. OK Dad credits. If Mr. and Mrs. Bueller were anything like my parents, the movie would have been called Ferris Bueller's Day at School. If they were anything like my parents, they would have called my bluff, taken me to the doctor's office, and found out, to my own surprise as well, that I had bronchitis. Cars. If Lightning McQueen listened to his crew and changed his tires as ordered, he could have won the race. Or if he'd have let Mac go to bed, maybe the back hatch wouldn't have been opened, unchecked, etc. Or if he hadn't have been speeding like the little daredevil he is, he might have gotten to the second race, maybe knowing this time why tires are important. Or if the cars weren't even cars. Look, Cars to me falls under Belisario's principle: some movies don't have to make sense to be enjoyable. I think it makes sense, it's just that the main character is an arrogant buffoon. It's the entire point of the movie, to force him into a sink or swim situation where he must grow. Edit, this whole thing has caused me to want to rewatch the entire series. Goodbye, 6 hours of my life. Aladdin. If Jafar would have just paid Aladdin what he promised him instead of betraying him at the cave, he would have had the lamp and become king, be mighty powerful. Aladdin just wanted his money in return for the lamp. For real. It's not like Aladdin would have been able to do anything about Jafar using the lamp. Right? But no, Jafar is the basest sort of villain. He's a lowly troll. He simply cannot resist an opportunity to screw someone over for his own sadistic amusement, even when it is directly counterproductive. He wasted time trying to get Aladdin to give up his only leverage when he could have just pulled the man up and completed the deal. I guess you could argue that Jafar didn't want any witnesses, but A, he was wearing a disguise and Aladdin didn't know who he was, B, the duck would have believed Aladdin if he'd come forward. And C, he literally would have had command of a genie, so he shouldn't have needed to worry about those kind of small problems anyway. So I have to agree that yeah, he just wanted to screw someone over for the sake of screwing him over. I want to see this movie now. I mean, when Genie first came out of the lamp, he seemed to be expecting a master more like Jafar than Aladdin. Would have been interesting to see Robin Williams playing an evil genie, who eventually gets turned good when Aladdin steals the lamp and befriends him. Jurassic Park. If Hammond actually spared no expense. Hammond spared no expense. 15 minutes later I told you how many times we needed locking mechanisms on vehicle doors. How the duck do you have a T-Rex but not locks on the car doors? Because they can't reach the door handles with their tiny arms. It's a real bitch for them to adjust the mirrors, too. Pretty much anything on the Hallmark Channel. Wait, let me explain. I am dying of a women's disease. That's Lifetime. Hallmark is 25-year-olds finding love. Lifetime is 40-year-olds being miserable. Or every horrid abuse story ever. Lifetime's the perfect blank. Spoiler alert for about 200 movies, whatever fills in that blank turns out to be not perfect at all. Home Alone, yeah, sick, just forget about one of your kids. Home Alone 2, congratulations on learning from your mistakes and managing to get your kid to the airport this time, and Hess gone. CPS, yeah, most people don't lose their kid once a year. We're gonna come over and see what's up. To be fair, they went to lengths to explain how he was forgotten so that it didn't rely on pure stupidity. Tons of people in the family making it a crowd, Kevin's plane ticket being lost in the trash, Kevin being sent to sleep up in the attic instead of among everyone else, the family waking up late so they have to rush to the airport as fast as possible, the girl doing the head count to make sure all the kids were accounted for unknowingly tapped the neighbor kid's head, resulting in a full count. Maybe more, it's been a while since I've seen it. Also, all the kids were in couch while the parents were first class, which meant that they didn't notice Kevin being missing until they landed. The noticed in flight. Mom screamed Kevin. Yeah, good call. I was thinking of the second movie where they notice it, luggage claim. No Country for Old Men, never go back to the scene of the crime. Also, if you find a duffel bag full of cash and decide to keep it, check it for tracking devices. Take the cash. Leave the duffel bag. Now Llewellyn and Carla are living comfortably in an isolated Idaho ranch they paid cash for. Edit, I'm aware the tracker was in a wad of cash. In my version, Moss leaves that stack in the truck with the dead guy. Quit ruining my fantasy of the Mosses living happily ever after. Take the cash out and replace it with cannolis. As long as they're good cannolis, nobody will even be that mad. Sure, we're out a few million, but damned if those weren't the best desert duffel bag cannolis I've ever had. Emperor's New Groove Yzma originally says that she could just turn him into a flea, put that flea in a box, put that box into another box, and eventually send it to herself so she could smash it with a hammer. Then she says to save on postage, she'll just use poison, which ends up not being poison. Even if she went with the original plan, he'd be a flea and, for all intents and purposes, out of the picture pretty instantly. Yzma ducked herself trying to save like a quarter. Or if Cusco wasn't a fool and saw past Yzma, or wasn't an asshole to everyone, which helped push the whole let's get rid of him mentality. School of Rock, Mrs. Mullins, can I see your id, Mr. Shibley? Dewey, sorry I don't have it, Mrs. Mullins, sorry you won't be able to teach the kids unless you have proof you're a teacher who you are. Credits. Hey man, she's under a lot of stress, you have no idea how angry these parents get. She wasn't always like this, you know. There was a time when she was fun. She was funny. But you can't be funny and be the principal of a prep school. These parents will come down on her like a nuclear bomb. Not the main character, but Star Wars. The Empire grabs Leia's ship and the droids escape in a capsule. There's no life forms. Hold your fire. No, wait. Droids exist in this universe and could be carrying those plans Vader wants. Let's pull that ship in or dispatch some TIE fighters to intercept it or something. A short time later, sir, we pulled apart those droids. The golden one was useless, but the astromech had the plans. Vader, excellent. You will be rewarded for this. Why did I imagine Vader saying excellent like Mr. Burns? Actually, if you think about underneath the suit, Mr. Burns is a great nickname for him. Sick burn, my dude. The main antagonist in Suicide Squad is a member of the team, Enchantress, who turned out to be evil and gains power thanks to some magic MacGuffin that the lady running the team uses to control her. Literally the entire plot of Suicide Squad wouldn't have happened if they didn't bother assembling the ducking Suicide Squad. Edit: wow, this blew up, thanks for the awards. I never imagined my most upvoted comment would be about this piece of shit movie. Waller, I have an idea. We start a team of supervillains and use them to do our dirty work. Government guy, who would authorize this? No. The end. If Superman turned evil, who would have stopped him? Great idea, let's form a team that definitely cannot stop Superman. An invulnerable alien god thing is raining hellfire from the skies. What do we do? Don't worry, we have a hipster Bonnie Parker with a baseball bat. Sleeping Beauty, honey, we should invite Maleficent to our daughter's christening. I know she's the mistress of all evil, but it'd probably end up worse for us if we don't invite her. And then Maleficent insisted on one-upping the good fairies by giving Aurora the best gift. Not having to experience the horrors of the real world. PFFT, yes. Give her an actually useful gift. Batman Begins: the Waynes shouldn't have left through the side exit of the theater. Just call Alfred and wait out front. Just hire a driver to pick you up at the entrance like every other elite rich person. Dad, just book an Uber. Whoa. This is a flashback, shut up and follow me and mama. Since they don't let characters age out in real time, they have to keep updating Batman's origin to keep him in the correct age range, so eventually Batman will be a 90s kid and in a couple decades, Batman will be a Zoomer. Any movie where the main character says Therese no time to explain. This made me think of Princess Bride. Let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up. Such a good movie. I suppose a summation is good enough. I first watched that film last month. I definitely regret not seeing it sooner, as it was a great time from start to finish.